Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gabriel, and today we're going to do another divine union reading. This is going to be the holistic energy reading for both twin flames this week. This reading is meant to be timeless though, so if you find it on a week that is not the week that it was uploaded, it still has a message for you, no matter where you are within your twin flame journey, if you're just waking up to the journey, or if you're already in union with your twin flame. There is something here for you since you've found this video. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and dive in. The cards that I'm gonna be using this week are the Wild Offering Oracle cards by Tasha Silver. And we'll just dive in. Ooh, the first card is Hardship. May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. And while this may sound scary and look kind of bad, like hardship, you're like, oh, I gotta go through terrible hardship. No. You don't have to go through a terrible hardship. You don't have to go through a terrible breakup or anything like that. I mean, it could be that that's what you're going through right now. But, you know, in the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine readings this week, we're really seeing like this cave of fear that has been kind of showing itself in the twin flame community recently. It feels like a lot of us are going through, including myself, are going through this like dark night of the soul, cave of fear type of feeling. And I feel like this is just kind of a continuation of that energy of like, we're getting through it, but sometimes it can take some time to really move through those heavier periods of healing. But we're gonna come out on the other side, you know, twin flames. It's like this time can feel really bad, but you know that on the other side, that God is actually guiding you to your highest good. And in fact, you know, the cave of fear is when, you know, is often that time like right before harmonious union. Like you have to face your fear, you have to let go of ego, or at least that layer of ego, so that you can actually be with your twin flame in the physical. So don't give up and don't look at this and say, well, I'm out, I don't want to go through these hardships, because you're already having it. All this stuff that's purging, all this stuff that's coming up, all the challenges that you're facing are already within you. They're already within your consciousness, and you are being asked to purge them and let them go and heal and love yourself in all of these places that have felt bad for a really long time, and you maybe have been numbed out to them up until this point. All of that stuff didn't just come up. It's always been within, and it's better out than in, but it does have to come up so that you can release it and actually heal it. So, you know, it sounds like a rough card to get started. I'm interested in seeing what the next ones are, but it's not all is lost, right? God is still guiding. All right, next card is Spaciousness. What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. Yes, okay, so again, this hardship is like, and the spaciousness here is like you're purging, like you're going through a transformation. See this butterfly? You know, you're going through that transformation to have this like spaciousness and expand so that you can accommodate your union. When you're in union with your twin flame, it's going to be this constant expanding and growing and learning. And you can't do that if you're holding on to all of these things that are sucking your life force away. Use this time to like really take inventory of your life and say like, what am I hanging on to that no longer serves me? And this could be, you know, thoughts, feelings, emotions that you need to work through, but it can also be physical items and friendships that you're hanging on to that no longer serve you. And sometimes that even means family. You know, I've had to let go of some family members because I realized that they weren't actually loving me. And while I love them and have compassion for them, having them in my life was actually not good for my own well-being, because there was nothing but drama and anger and stuff there, and I had to work through my part of those things. I had to work through the anger and the sadness and all of that. And then I had to, once I moved through my part, it was compassionate to put a boundary there. It says, you're not meeting me here. You're not meeting me in love here. And while I love you, the most compassionate thing for us to do is not to have a relationship, because I have to honor and love myself first. And that doesn't mean that you have to give up every single relationship ever and everything that you've ever owned. Maybe that does. Maybe that's what God is calling you to do, is to purge all the things. But really look at what is serving you, what is not serving you, and be willing to let that go, because that way you're freeing up space to actually have your union. If something no longer has a purpose in your life, if you look at something and you're like, this doesn't spark joy, like Marie Kondo, your whole life, you know, not just your closet, but your entire life. And you're going to free up that space for your twin flame to actually come in and be with you in your life. All right, next card. Gratitude. Find just one thing that you feel grateful for right now and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's a healing balm like the warmth of the sun. Yeah, like practice gratitude on this journey, because that's really what's also going to get you really far, is knowing that even through the hard times, like God is guiding you, God is providing for you. And, you know, I think for me, especially at the beginning of this journey, I was tempted to be like, you know, F you, God, you're doing this and you're making me mad. And why should I feel grateful for this? Rah, like, you know, just had a lot of resistance to being grateful. But when I really take a step back and like look at it, it's like God has always provided for me. Like God has always been, you know, with me every step of the way, even when I wasn't actively following, and even when I considered myself atheist, like God was always there for me. And I know that you too, watching this, can feel into your heart and find those places, find those things that you're grateful for that have been provided to you by love. And even if it's the smallest thing, like really start to take inventory of that, because we tend to focus on the negative, the things that are going wrong. And actually, if we focus on the things that we're grateful for, we'll actually multiply what we're grateful for rather than the things that we don't like in our lives. Because what you focus on is what is gonna grow. And you don't want the negative things to grow. You don't want the doubts to grow. You want the positives to grow. You want the truth to thrive within your life and your union to thrive. So start that gratitude practice if you haven't already, and maybe deepen into it during this time. Even in the hardships, you can find something to be grateful for, and that will really return to you as you deepen in that practice. All right, next card, love. Yeah, we went from hardships to love in 4 cards. We got this. So it's like, this is not, you know, again, this is like kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. You're going towards deeper love. And to read this, it's not about finding love. You are love itself. Help me, Lord, to send so much compassion and caring to the inner child that I always remember I myself am love. Yes, like you are love. There's, and that's what the mirror exercise is really good at and designed to do. Like you go to this inner child and you give them a hug and you give them the reassurance and you give them the childhood that they wanted and you give them the attention that they want. You know, that's why the mirror exercise is so, so, so powerful, as it teaches you how to love yourself, and it reminds you that you are love and you're not separate from your love. And the more that you ground into that truth, the more love that you actually experience in your life. So beautiful reading so far. Like we're just about to get to the bottom of the deck, but you know, we started out Twin Flames with like this hardship, but we're actually moving out of that, is kind of what it feels like, is as you're letting go of all this stuff that has weighed you down, you're moving into that peace and gratitude and love that you're actually desiring. And the bottom of the deck is perfectionism. Oh, permission to make mistakes is so freeing. It's the root of creativity and change. Allow me divine, to make as many mistakes as I need, free me from the prison of perfectionism. And there's that butterfly again. And what I really feel like this is saying, and I feel it kind of like I felt it deep in my heart as soon as I started reading that card, is like, when we're in a position like this, when you can kind of, you know that at the other side of the cave of fear is harmonious union, or what you've always desired, or you're going deeper in your life purpose, or this breakthrough that you're really wanting, we can become fearful of making a mistake. And it actually hinders your progress, right? Because you're like, oh, if I make the wrong choice, then I won't have my twin flame. Or if I make the wrong choice, or I don't heal in time, or I don't do all these things, or if I take a chance and I make a mistake, then I won't have the thing. I won't be able to do the thing. And it's really the wrong way to look at it, because that's in that energy of control is perfectionism. God's idea of perfect is different from our idea of perfect, and ego's actual way of perfect, because God is seeing you as his divine child, and you are already perfect. And, you know, you're just going through lessons and trial and error, and you're learning, and your learning process is beautiful and perfect. And, you know, just because you do or don't get the outcome that you want doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. And it doesn't mean that you're not already perfect. And worrying about making a mistake is just preventing your growth. Because if you're just too afraid to do anything, or you psych yourself out, or you give into that fear that you could lose your good, that's where you start to have those hardships. If you stay in faith that God is guiding your every move, and you move with peace and move with God, like, you're gonna have your transformation. You're gonna have that spaciousness and gratitude and love that we're seeing coming out of this hardship. Don't trip yourself up by right there at the finish line by saying like, oh, I have to get it just right. I have to get it just right. And I fell into this trap too. I've fallen into that trap so many times. And, you know, I just have to say, like, you know, I have to be okay with making a mistake. I have to be okay with, you know, and be loving and compassionate with myself, and like, just let go of the outcome. Just know that you're growing into your highest self. And you don't punish a baby for falling after they've learned to walk, because they're still learning to walk, right? In the same way you should do that with you and your inner work and your journey, is that even if you've been doing it for a couple days now, or even, you know, and, you know, baby time, or even a baby that's been walking for, you know, a month or so, still might stumble and fall occasionally, because they're still learning. And the same way, same thing applies to you. So have a lot of compassion for yourself on this journey, and don't give into that perfectionism, because you're already perfect. You don't need to make sure every step you take is so calculated. You can just follow your heart, and you will end up right where you need to be. All right. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell to be notified when the next video is uploaded. If you are having any challenges in your union and would like extra support, or if you would like your own personalized card reading to understand what's going on within your specific union, you can find my services at sacredtwinflameunion.com, and I will see you all in the next video.